Alright, morning ladies and gentlemen. It's time Edge. It's Tuesday 17th. I didn't start at 7 a.m. today just because there was news, pound news. So yeah, moving on, just checking my Discord. Right, yeah. And I do apologise if you can't understand me. I've just had a nose operation. I've come back, so yeah. Anyway, let's look at the top down on the FX currency futures triad weekly chart. We look to be operating within this range. If I just draw this on now, hopefully the stream's a little bit crisper than it was before. I'm just fiddling around with stuff, trying to make it work really. So free candle model, right? Wick above, close below. We've already mitigated the 50% on 6B here. So we'll see if price does begin to draw a bit lower. That is the plan. I did have this marked up this morning, but as you can see, it's been traded through. This is the free candle model on the daily. If you can see here, we're still working within this range. We were working within this range on 6B. I said this in my stream just last week, right? I was looking to short this into this low. Conditions weren't favourable for my setup, and like I said, I missed the setup on Thursday, I think. But you know, I'm only human, right? So yeah, this is going to be a level of importance for me, drawing down into these CRT lows. I know 6B has already taken out the low, so maybe we run for this low. Something I did want to mention though, that was the bonds were going up. Bonds are pushing up massively. So they should normally correlate, right? So if a bond's going up, currency futures should go up as well. I think we're going to fill this liquidity and then probably maybe push up, unless the bonds start to turn. But anyway, trade what we see, not what we think. Asia ranged. Right, so we're expecting a wick to be made in London. I'm just going to mark out. Oh, why has that come up? I'm just going to mark the low here. We're in a Q standard deviation level. We don't have a weekly cycle like we did. If you can see, I've marked out the 50% of the previous day's range, and to the tick, if you can see that, we had a mean reversion on 6S. So why did I mark out the daily 50%? Wick below, close above, or 50%. Okay, so my theory is if we get this weekly cycle, it means reversal. So more likely we're going to rebalance price to 50% or continue higher on one of the assets as well. This is the advantage of trading three closely correlated pairs, because not all of them, and then you understand that some of these, why these move, and some of them move at certain times and the others don't. It's because one asset fills, and when they're closely correlated, this gives you an edge in the market. Yes, I did learn this stuff from Day, but I've since walked away from all that and just built my own stuff now because it's a lot easier. So open, high, low, close theory, right? We're still in this Q standard deviation on 3 of the assets and Asia standard deviation on 6B there. Okay, so if price did come down, take that low, I'd be interested in a long, potentially. That's the first crack. Okay, let's just set up an alert, make sure I'm on the ball. It's a good habit to set alerts, not wait for price. Just make sure, because you might be looking at another chart, because I've got another triad that I trade. Okay, but open, high, low, close theory. So if this bar is opening and it opened higher, what are we expecting price to do? It's still 807, right? It's the first quarter of the bar. If it opens higher, we expect it to probably pull down a bit and close lower. That's a theory, right? It's not certainty. It's a theory. It's a probability. Okay, so anything I say is all in probabilities. It's not a dead certain. Like I say, oh yeah, it's going to come back to the mean reversion on one asset. I mean, yeah, 70-80% of the time it does, but there's always an outlier that would not happen on a day like that. Maybe on a Monday, or prices drawing to some kind of higher time frame liquidity. If you haven't already, you should get a journal. If you listen to Trader Dante, he always says I'll be filling out my journal in my live streams. I always do. Just now you can see me doing it because I've added a camera. Right, so I've marked out that. I'm just going to have a quick look at the index triad. Move that over there. Something I didn't see. Okay, let's start on the monthly, see if there's anything. Right, most of the assets have closed below previous week's low. We've taken previous month's high there, sorry, excuse me. Previous month was a range though. Week 3, distribution. It's the third week of the month, so I'm expecting distribution. I didn't trade yesterday. It was bank holiday and bank holiday in the US, and it's a Monday week. Right, so we had no clear change of state of delivery. We did week 2. We did manipulate higher. We could see this distribute a bit lower. We've got a 3 candle model here. Okay, so maybe we draw into this low. That would probably be my idea and bias for this week. Price pull up, and then we move into this low, filling out this 3 candle CRT model there. So that becomes our draw of liquidity here and here. The idea for the week, right? Gives us a bias, an idea to look for. But the previous week was a range. It didn't close below any previous bar, did it? So with that in mind, we spend most. Then I look for the daily candle. I'll see what the daily's saying. We did have. It was bank holiday, so we don't have a bar printed as such because the future market didn't open, so we don't have a full bar. So you'd have to go onto the 1 hour, and I can kind of gather it from that, gather the information from there, to be honest. Right, so we did kind of accumulate. We didn't break below any of these Friday's lows or highs on most of the assets. Does that break? Did, but then we closed back within the range. So we've got a range profile. daily profile. So that just means when I say it's a range daily profile, it just means I'm looking for a little bit more confluence. My confluence I have to have stacked confluence. I'm building a more confluences towards my bias, okay? We have got a weekly here though. If you can see, NQ has been taken. So previous week's low has been taken on NQ. So let's mark out 50% of the previous week's range. Now, why am I doing this? Because we've got SMT at the low, sequential SMT at the lows, right? So that means it's a sign for reversal. What's going on here? It's a sign for reversal. So wick below, close above 50%. Like I say, it's not always the case, but there are definitely levels you want to keep in mind, or I keep in mind anyway. Formed equals over there, it's probably going to be targeted anyway. I'm not saying these levels are going to be hit. Possibly, price might draw into these levels, and then we can fade the move into this level, and then we can draw it back into these lows if that's what's going to happen. Nice fair value gap, matches up with a weekly mean reversion or equilibrium, however you want to call it. I'll probably say both. Yeah, also matches up with this daily balanced price range, right? We've got fair value gap both sides, balanced price range. Not there, just a fair value gap. Let's look at the 6 hour. All assets have wicked below Asia, below previous day's low as well. It's got no cracks in correlation, nothing we can take at the moment. So just building a story. Now normally with a weekly we'd like to pair this with a daily, right? Sorry, a monthly, we'd like to pair this with a daily. So we'd need a London session to form, one asset go up, one asset cause sequential SMT in New York would be a good idea. We still need to see that second stage crack. The first crack's appeared. Not at a time we would be trading. I don't trade till 8 a.m. Let me just see if there's any You know, same again, right? I don't really like when the FX and indices are correlating, but if you can see here, right, if you can see here, we're operating within this range, so maybe we pull into this fair value gap, pull down. Same here, similar kind of thick body candle. We've managed to close below here. Excuse me, sign in my eye. Yeah, maybe we pull up into this and then go further down. Let me just check the macro data for today, this week. So we've got heavy news on Friday. Yeah, so towards the end of the week should be good. We've got pound CPI tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'll let that play before I jump online. And we've got FOMC minutes at 7 p.m. as well. Tuesday is a high probability CRT day. And why is that? Because the range forms on Monday. It's either expansion or accumulation. So if you can see here, we formed a range on Monday, right? Didn't expand, haven't taken anything. So Tuesday we expect the range to either to be swept. We didn't get, we haven't got a weekly cycle, but we've got a monthly. Just need a little bit more confirmation if we're going to take the long. I will. I always mark out Asia, so go for that. Go on a 15-minute. Mark out the high to low, put in Asia range. I like doing this manually. It gives me something to do and keeps me sharp. Otherwise, if I just rely too much on the indicator, I could build an Asia range, but I rely too much on the indicator. I like doing it by hand. Right, if you want access to the timed edge indicator, it's now come off of WAP. So if you do want access to it, you'd have to contact me. Okay, so I think there could be potentially a model here. We've wicked below. Asia's expanded, right? All the assets are traded below previous day's low. We've also wicked below in Asia. And it looks like we're all above 50%. The way I would look to, if I was going to short this, carry on shorting this with the idea that we need to take London's low out to form a long, if that was going to happen, I'd look for a 1 hour CRT model at the 50%. But Asia has expanded as well, so we just have to take note of that. Well, if Asia's expanded, I'm expecting accumulation in London. Let's just find 50%. I'll mark that out here. 6 hour. Days split into 4s. I just decided that now that most of my value is going to be in the streams. That is doing my head in. Why that keeps popping up. So Asia's expanded, right? With wick below, that means we're good to 50%, but we've all expanded in the same direction, right? So we could continue down into this. I know we've got a monthly cycle because NQ's taken previous week's low, but we still need a second crack in correlation, and normally that would form on a daily cycle. So that would mean London low. One asset would have to take London low, right? And then we can see about getting in a long position. At the moment, what we've done, we've just all the assets have closed below previous day's low, right, and expanded. This could just be a retest and continuation trade. I'll look to see 6 hour 50%. We've had the wick below there. There's no reversal sign there either. So let's see what happens. Maybe we do get the short into that. If YM does go and take Asia's high, I need a little bit more confluence because we've swept both sides. Then I'll probably sit out because we might go for previous day's high. There's a lot of liquidity above, and we might not get the long that we wanted from the London low of one of the assets. We are seeing a nice rejection from that level. Still have to wait for price though at the moment. Nothing we can do. Also marries up with this fair value gap in there, doesn't it? It's not particularly one of my models though, looking for this continuation out of a 1 hour fair value gap like that. My model is these mean reversion 1 hour CRT models when we've had this expanse lower on all the assets. We have taken this low, but I've explained to you why I'd be looking at okay, so what is FX doing? Let's have a little look there. Open, high, low, close, right? Moving long out of this level. Not really a wick for me to start looking at and breaking this down to the 15-minute. It's not something I want to do. Interesting. See how well these levels work, though. If you've been following me for a while, you'll understand these levels just play out day in, day out. And when all three of them are in a level like this, it's closely correlated pairs, right? So it's a shame the low wasn't swept really, but we're seeing a lot of buying pressure come in around these levels because of the thick full body candle. Full body candle is not really enough of a wick for me to warrant start breaking this down on the 15-minute. Sorry, let me just have a drink of water. I hope everyone can see maybe you have to leave a comments down below if you can see the screen, if it's decent quality or not. I don't know. Just trying to play around with the stream at the moment to try and get it as crisp for the YouTube audience. I've had to stretch the screen to fit the 16:9 aspect ratio, so we shall see what it looks like. So price has been rebalanced here. You can see on this asset over here it's rebalanced. We've then taken previous day's low, so we've taken a lot of sell side. We're coming out of a standard deviation, and we've taken a load of liquidity from here. Asia has range, so London should form the wick. So maybe we might see some a buy day today. Come below Monday range. Okay, so we've had an accumulation on Monday. We're expecting a manipulation. So we might start following the bonds, right? The bonds are pushing up. That should give us an indication that FX might follow suit. I wanted one of these assets to take the 3-hour low, 3 candle model. Sorry, 3 hour. Clear this liquidity, yeah. Where does liquidity sit? Old highs, old lows, right? Okay, so we needed to clear that. Might see this push up now. We cleared that liquidity from Wednesday, NFP, that was low. Strange week we had yesterday, not really the best for me. All the news releases. I called the top here, but no entry. There was another. I was waiting for this long here to play out. I never got an entry. It just ran. And similar on Friday morning as well. We can see the level, right? Similar, no trade. Oh, I think the trade came on my break. I was not on the screen. Okay, we hit the 50% and then went higher. It's not something I normally do. And then on Thursday there was a trade here as well that went into the Q standard deviation. We got the 1 hour CRT model micro precision swing point, but I'd left. I was getting pissed off with this barcoding. So anyway, it's all about growth, right? I reacted emotionally there and left the screens when I should have just shouldn't have let it get to me and just carried on trading. So what are we doing here? Let's have a little quick look at why I'm here. Let's have a little look at crypto, see what we're doing on the weekly chart, right? If if you've been following me on my streams, you know I was calling this low out since the top here. I've got my mum into a short position up here. She's traded this held this all the way down. I'm looking for, as soon as I see a buy signal now, I'm looking for longs. Let's run a scan over the whole swing here. We're back below the 50%, right? There could be liquidity still below that low as well, for sure. Let's go on a monthly. Oh. Why is that not doing that? Right, let's have a look. Yeah, so there definitely could be. Let's get rid of that because we traded through that. Ethereum's come shooting back down, hasn't it? You never know, Ethereum might come all the way back down and take this low here. All the crypto die-hard fans. Fear and greed run this market. Player v player. Oh, it's going to go up to here, it's going to go there, it's all rubbish. As soon as you hear someone telling you that, oh, cryptos I'm buying crypto again, you know that it's time to sell. Literally, as soon as I hear people in the gym start saying that it's time to buy crypto, I've just bought, some bloke the other day, oh, I just bought another 10 grand of crypto. You know instantly, this was a few months ago, right? This is when we were up here. I was just like, do you know, it's just about to tumble. And that being said, same on the flip side, right? 2 weeks ago, I went back into the gym after my operation, and a bloke was like, oh, I'm not really sure about crypto, I've taken some money out. And then lo and behold, we've taken equilibrium, right? We might draw here, but we need a crack in correlation, right? We need a higher time frame crack in order for us to start looking at this. I'm more of a swing trader when it comes to crypto. I'm looking for the longer move, so I'm looking for a monthly, something like that, to take this long. So I'll mark out these this low here. It's not something I want to trade every day. It's only because I've got a group that I post my trades into. So if we're looking as a point of profiling the month, first week's expanded of the month, we're having an accumulation. So what does that mean? We should see a manipulation this week. Maybe we take out previous week's low and then go higher. That is one of the trades I'll be looking at for sure. Let's have a look at the daily. Want to see some kind of SMT really. Waiting game. It's a waiting game. See how well these levels work. You know, it's all built from time. And I know everyone's like, they don't have a clue. When they finally catch up and realise what this does, it's mental. Anyway, so yeah, I've got the lows for that. Let's go back to FX now. Price is just pushing up, and if this is going to be continuation, what do we have? A range daily profile, so we need stack confluence now. Not really looking to take a continuation, not without filling these gaps and stuff like that. It's not what I want to do. Unless we get a change in state of delivery, right? And that means that 2 of these bars would have to close up here. And then we could look at the 50% of the candle model in there. But I don't know, we've still got 20 minutes, but let's have a look at the index market. Okay, so we're reacting off that 50% there, fair value gap as well, matched in. For me, for what I tell you what I want to see. Excuse me. One asset to take the high, and then find the timed edge model, right? Drop down to the M1 micro above. I don't want to see this low taken though on any of the assets. That means I'd have to wait for Q1 15-minute. If that happens, we'll break it down possibly, if I think it's going to go lower. Let's see how this, still got 20 minutes of this bar left to print. If you want to join my Discord, I mean, like I keep saying, the most of the value is going to be on my live streams from now on. But there's other traders in there, like-minded individuals that are trading the same model, and you might be able to ask. And I do go in there and check the Discord, but it's free now anyway. I've changed my whole thing. The indicator is going to be a lifetime payment, so you can just pay me directly, and then you can get access to it, and I'll just add you to the thing, and then obviously you'll get any updates and stuff like that, which I am constantly doing updates. There's constantly stuff I'm changing as my model evolves. There's lots more it gives you as well on the indicator, but it's just not, I don't use all of it. So if you're new to QT, quarterly theory, or CRT, handy indicator to have, especially with some other bits I've added as well. This is the reality of trading, right? It is, there's lots of waiting around, lots of sitting around, trying to stay focused. The YouTube gives me a chance to be more accountable in my trading. That's why I do it. I don't do it for anyone else but myself. Selfish. But I'm sure you do get some benefit from it, because I see in the likes and comments and stuff that people do find it beneficial. Yeah, let's go back and have a look at this price action here. I think this did. When did this take the high? Just sweep the high. Oh yeah, so that was it, wasn't it? GU was above. So that's why I was looking at that level there. GU was above. And then we just start pressing, moving down, right? Just drop down to the 15-minute. See if I didn't miss anything. $10 o'clock, so that's 11. So we're looking at the So the first candle expanded, expected a range on the 15 minute. No, there's no setup there. 45. This did come and sweep loads of liquidity. What time was that? 11:45. NFP, no. No. Real shit week last week. Real shit week. NFP on a Wednesday, then CPI on a Friday. No trader is going to be in the market, and they're just holding on for dear life, basically, waiting for it to all unfold. Slightly annoying we didn't get the model there. That'd have been nice if one of the assets took that. Nice little micro at 8 a.m. You know, time for a reversal. Or time for liquidity to come in the market anyway, 8 a.m. London Open. Liquidity should be in the market. What happens at 7 a.m? Judas, if you've been following me, you know what 7 a.m. does. Always gives us a Judas, right? So it will take the liquidity, set up, it will track the move on the other side. We see it day in, day out. Look, you see here, 7 a.m. pushes down, clears more liquidity, right? This was news as well, bear in mind, but it's the same thing that happens every day, and it's the same thing at 12 o'clock as well. So 12 o'clock London time, everything I do it in London time. I do not listen to ICT. His bullshit theory about everything runs on this clock and that clock is complete rubbish, because soon as there's daylight saving, yeah, I'm in London. The rest of the traders that are traded in on Americans time, US time, the London Open still remains the same at 8 a.m. It doesn't move with the US time. It's complete bullshit. Stays at 8 a.m. London Open, right? So therefore, it's complete rubbish, isn't it? And the US market still. So when there's daylight saving, and then there's a change between basically it goes from 5 hours to 4 hours. London Open remains the same, so it's complete crap. Everything's run off the US. It's bullshit. You haven't never traded in fucking GMT time, mate. That's why. Don't know. I trade in it every day. I've been trading this is my 5th year. I know all about it. Anyway, little rant over. Oh, sorry. I had my nose surgery in my. It's a little bit delicate. 6E looking like we coming up. Let's see, we've got 12 minutes left, right? See if we get a change of state of delivery. Look for 50% of that candle. If you've been watching me now, and we're looking for these double gaps as well, these double gaps entries. Let's see how this closes. Oh. I've got like no feeling in the top of my nose. It's in my nose. It's and then it gets itchy, and it's like strange. It's a weird feeling. I've never had it before. I'm going to give it till 9 a.m. See what's going on. See how this candle forms. If we don't get anything now, I'm just going to let it play out, and I'll be back for 12, well 10 to 12 or something. Getting a nice push up now on 6E though. Okay, London should form the wick, right? What did I say? If this bar closes above, change the state of delivery, I'll be looking at 50% of this bar for a tap in and then a continuation long. Okay, we've cleared liquidity, we've rebalanced price on 6S, and we're still pushing back up as well. So that's an indication that we're going to continue long, right? If we look at the bonds are flying up. Let's go on a 1 hour. Let's break this down. Yeah, this is we're just pushing. Something must have happened over the weekend. You never know what Donald Trump's up to, but where's the liquidity on here, right? Liquidity is above these highs, old lows. Let's go on a weekly. After this massive sell-off for the bonds, where we've just been, people just taking their money out of the bonds basically, and that's why you've seen gold have a spike. But we're now seeing something come back in as well. This is a good sign for America, really. Bonds going up. It's the T-note, 10-year, 5-year, I think. Yeah. So if I'm looking at this, starting closing through these disrespecting bearish fair value gaps, right? So our draw of liquidity is going to be these highs. Let's mark these key levels out. I always do them fresh as well, so I want to keep myself sharp, keep myself repeating the process over and over again. I don't want to leave old lines there. I want to keep refreshing my mind. Why am I doing certain things? Saying it to myself. Right, this is what you should be doing as well. If you're following me, you should start to do this. And this is where you're going to make money. As soon as I started journaling, I thought it was a joke at first. As soon as I started journaling last year, I started making money. 4 years it took me to become profitable. 4 fucking long years. No messing around. Anyway, yeah, we're taking this, we're coming up. This will be our draw of liquidity. Does that match in with a monthly high? It's a monthly prior high, isn't it? It's a prior monthly swing high. Okay. Anyway. There's going to be a lot of liquidity above this prior high here as well. And if you see here, let's mark this out as well. Get that onto there. Let's have one here because we're going to see some. Just mark that out because price more likely will take that, and then we'll see something might sell off a little bit, so that will weaken the FX further. Prior high, give that a mark. Back onto 6E, see what we're doing. We've got 7 minutes left. So double gap, 15-minute entry on 6E. So that could probably come down into the 50%. London should form the wick. So we must have cleared a load of buy side here. We've cleared a load of buy side. We've reacted from the equilibrium, previous day's range. Now we're seeing this really wick below. See how important these levels are. It's crazy. Right, in terms of the NQ index triad, sorry, it's taking some time to get over there. I was on the index triad anyway. Yeah, index triad, look, it's just fine. I don't think we're going to get back up there straight away. But same rules apply, right? We've got a wick above. So you'll probably find that the volume in this candle is going to break the low straight away. If you can see the volume, selling volume in this candle is very high. Okay, because we just had a straight push down. We're coming into the end of the bar now. So if the first candle breaks, right, we've wicked below on one of the assets. That means I'm going to need to come up to 50%. I don't see this price action coming back up. We might start to sell off, and then maybe YM takes the high over here. Let's mark that. Oh, add an alert for there. These two seem to be the weaker assets. This seems to be the stronger one. So this might take the high. Might give us that cracking correlation. Let's get rid of that. Right, FX. Whoa, excuse me. Right, price is pushing up. If this candle closes like that, a double gap inversion, right? There are multiple gaps here, right? Two gaps there. Closing up, come back down, target Asia high. Well, probably the daily 50%, to be honest. That will probably be the draw of liquidity. So we'll probably draw it up into that level. What gives us confluence to take this trade long? All right, so let's walk through it. Right, what have we got? Monday is accumulated. We've swept a load of liquidity, sell side liquidity within this thing. Well, all of us are, all the assets are in a level. Smart money reversal level. So if smart money was going to get in this and buy it, they look to enter on these levels, right? And as you can see here quite clearly, 3 assets are in this level. We want to see a change in state of delivery. That's what I'm looking for in this bar. I want to see a change in state of delivery. I want to see these assets break and close above. That's what, close above this previous candle. If it doesn't, then I'll probably just wait for a bit more price to develop, and that'll probably be another hour. So I'll probably shut the stream and come back if something sets up. If not, I'll be back at 12 o'clock because we've got a range profile on both the days, and yeah, so I'll be back on at 10 to 12, something like that. I'll start the stream so we can have a quick brief look at what's going on. My model doesn't set up every day. It's not there every day. Once or twice a week, sometimes 3 if I'm lucky. Last week it only set up once and I missed the bloody trade, so yeah, which was there, a bit disappointing. But that's life, isn't it? That's life. Made a mistake, I'm only human. I did, however, make the week before a nice 10% on my account, so it's not the end of the world, right? You get weeks like that, you get months like that, so I just, as part of being a trader, you have to just take it. take it on the chin, man up. Don't dwell on it, because otherwise you're just gonna, it's just gonna ruin your psychology for the following week. So you just got to go, okay, yeah, I did this, great, let's move on. Let's try and make this week better. Too many times I just dwelled on everything, every little mistake I've done. Journal it, learn from it, grow, move on. That's it. Ooh yeah, baby. Let's have a little look at NQ. Reacting off to 50%, getting these wicks formed, which looks good. Indication. Still want to see that second crack though. We can start breaking this down because all candles are wicked. Okay. So we didn't get a break above on FX. Let me just show you this before I concentrate on that. Right, we didn't get that break above that we were looking for. That means there's going to be all kinds of buy side. So there's going to be buy side above this now. Okay, confirmed. It always is, but if we go up and take this, it's probably going to range, and we need some more. I'm looking for a little bit more confluence in this trade now. If we had a clean change of state of delivery, then then maybe we could look to trade this long. Because if you look on the 15-minute, we would have, let's see, we haven't closed from this, so that means sellers are still in the market. We want a strong close above, and that would have been, okay, right, they've now taken control of this. That's the way I see it anyway, okay? And you can see it whatever way you want. I don't really care. I'm just telling you what I see in the market. This is... Right, anyway, back to index. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so let's mark the high of this candle over here. I'll mark the high of this, even though I don't think it's going to get up there, but just so you can see what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. First, not really a crack, but we've got this continuation model, right? So we've expanded lower, we've wick below 50%. This could, right? Nothing's a certainty in this game. It could run lower if I get the second stage crack. I'll be looking for a 1 hour CRT model, to be quite frank. I want to see one of these high, get my model clean. Okay, we're pushing up, which is a good sign for the first candle, open of the candle, right? So you open, high, low, close, right? Let's just draw that out so everyone can see. Open, high, low, close, right? That bearish bar. If price opens, runs higher, yeah, more likely we're going to close lower on the bar. Gives us an indication of what we're looking for. We're not seeing that high go though, which is a bit frustrating. Anyway, 2 minutes into the bar, let's see what happens. Whoa. Carry on running the stream, because NQ is potentially setting up. Do 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 do. There's a lot of liquidity above that in there. So I was looking at index market there, just seeing where possibly could we go to. Let's go have a look at the daily here. Still got this level, still working within this range. Okay, we might have taken it here, still a level of liquidity there. Also, so still room for the downside as well, even though the bonds are pushing up. Is that a gap there? No, I think it's touched that support and resistance, right? High that's turned into found resistant turned support even. Bloody hell. Range daily profile, right? We've continuation model was, well, we're just profiling the day, right? That's the reason why I was looking for longs. I forget that I'm got a switch between the charts. Sorry there. I was talking about FX. Anyway, yeah, not looking impressed about FX. Let's bring that down here. See what this is doing. Let's go on a 15 minute, see how we're getting on here. Looks like an expansion on two of the assets anyway. Everything I do is, you know, I'm looking out for 2 out of the 3 pairs, or, you know, if I'm looking for a crack, it's 1 out of the 2 pairs. I'm gauging everything off the other assets, right? This is where you're going to get an edge in the market, an edge in, like we've got, this is the index index futures triad, right? Okay, so we've got ES, NQ, YN, closely correlated assets, right? It will give you an edge in the market. If you haven't traded this before, or you don't know what this is why I'm doing this. This has been around for decades. Larry Williams come out of it originally, right? Trader Day made it popular on social media and took the credit for it. This is all in Larry Williams' books. I've read since then, because, and it's like Romeo stuff, right? Romeo's is all in Street Smarts. If you read the book Street Smarts by Linda Ranchke, and ICT for that matter as well, all of the stuff is in that book. There's nothing new under the sun. They might have tweaked it a few bits as they've gone on, and it's evolved a little bit, but weekly gaps, opening gaps, fair value gaps, all in Street Smarts. All in Street Smarts. Everything's there. Old highs, old low, turtle soup model. We've even got even this pattern here where you'd see it changes. I don't even know what they call that anymore. Chock or whatever it was, right? We've got this. The actual real entry came from this, when the price broke through this low. Okay, there's so many. It's all in that book anyway. People are quite lazy, so they don't go and check these things out for themselves. But ICT, yeah, granted, he did repopularize a lot of that and make it so it's, he managed to sell millions and millions of pounds worth of courses. Yeah, fantastic. Well done, mate. Can he actually trade? Well, nobody knows. one thing I do want to do, I said to myself this year, I think next year I want to go into the Robbins Cup. If I hit my goal, I've started off with I got $20,000. I'm trying to take that to 100,000 by the end of this year, which is, it's a lot, but it's doable as well, right? If as long as as long as I stay consistent. Okay, 0909. What's the first 15 minute doing? Hoping you can see this a bit clearer now, this bloody screen. YouTube, it doesn't push any of your content if you don't give it what it wants, basically. I've figured that out now. If you're not doing the 16:9 aspect ratio and it wants to see stuff happening, and then eventually. I just thought, although it's not really why I'm doing YouTube, it's more for accountability for myself, but I do want to help other people as well along my journey. So to be able to provide the best streams is a bonus, right? Clear, make sure everyone can see what I'm doing. So that's why I'm just sorting through it and trying to make it work. Because I see loads of other streams and they look fantastic, and mine's not the best. So I'm trying to make it better. (9:11). We are waiting now. We haven't taken. Right, let's clear this up. Right, we know we're at 50% of the 6 hour. All the assets are found. One asset above over there. Right. Just marking the equilibrium of this candle, okay? If that is the case and we are just moving now, that's fair enough, I don't mind. Not within my model. I need to see a crack in correlation, right? If we do start breaking the lows, then okay, yeah, I missed it. On to the next one. I'm fine. Looks like we are playing out this equilibrium, especially on NQ anyway, of that candle, previous hour candle.